Another way to set up e-commerce websites with Wix is through the use of dropshipping. Dropshipping is a form of retail business where the seller accepts orders without keeping stock on hand. So they don't have to track inventories, but they do display products on their website for people to purchase, and then the inventory is managed by the stock fulfillment team. So usually the traditional business model is retailers are responsible for the order fulfillment from start to finish, but with dropshipping, they're just responsible for actually accepting the order, and then a third-party supplier will handle inventory, warehousing, and order fulfillment, and things like that. So the process is really a relationship between the customer-facing store and the supplier. The two more common approaches to adopting a dropshipping model is to seek out sort of wholesaler supplies and then advertise them on your website as well. The benefits of dropshipping is that there's less upfront capital. So probably the biggest advantage to dropshipping is that it's possible to launch an e-commerce store without having to invest thousands of dollars in inventory. Traditionally, a brick and mortar e-commerce retailer has to tie up huge amounts of capital purchasing inventory. It's a lot easier to run an e-commerce business when you don't have to worry about physical products. And there's low overheads, it's flexible location, things like that. So what you traditionally have with Wix is something called Wix stores. So Wix stores allows you to do a traditional e-commerce website where the fulfillment, everything is processed by you. So in order to start building a Wix e-commerce website, what you need to do is go onto your website. So you can see that it's now built out and all done by Wix so far. We haven't done anything to the site apart from pics and pages and some colors. So you're already at sort of like a starting point, and you're not kind of starting from scratch. So this is essentially what the Wix editor looks like. It'll show you the site as is and how users will see it on the front end. And on the left, you have your actual editor where you'll add sort of your apps, you'll add your elements, add your pages, things like that. The first thing that you might want to do when you first start editing your site is change the theme colors. So again, if you remember, we picked the colors that were presented to us, but maybe those aren't the colors or the text that we actually liked. So what we'll need to do to change that is come to the Site Design tab here, and you can see you've got Site Theme, and you just want to click Customize. And the site theme, you can customize both the colors and the text. So for now, we'll just change the colors, and you can see these are the colors that are currently being used on the site. There's about 5 different colors in the color palette. Just to give you some context on what these colors mean. So color 1 is used for backgrounds and text across your site. If you've added Wix apps like Wix stores, Wix blogs, those pages use the same background and text colors as well. So in most cases, see that the brightest tint, so this one here, is used for the background, while the darkest is used for the text. So we recommend sort of putting a high contrast pairing so that the information on your site is easy to read. Color 2 is the action color. So these are colors that are used in things like links or buttons and menu elements, and it appears in like boxes as well. And they're used to kind of drive your customers or clients to make the choices that you want by selecting an action, whether that's to submit a form, go to another page, things like that. So you want to choose one that kind of contrasts to your background. So for example, if we edit this one, if you click into the color here and click into either, if you know the hex code, just type in the hex code, or you can use the color picker. And then you can also pick the color 2, which again, you want it to be contrasting with the page color. Color 3, 4, 5 are additional colors. So these are just additional colors that you can pick to add to your color scheme. They're displayed in like different places across your site. So you want to pick colors that kind of match and complement the site as well. But the important 2 colors are the color 1 and color 2. And when you're done, you just want to go back, and you can see as I was changing the colors, certain colors on the page was changing as well. So like the heading colors were being changed, things like that. The other thing you could change then is the text themes, and similar to the color, you can have different themes for different text types. So the way the text themes work is that you have 6 different heading types and you have 3 different paragraph types. So you've got 6 different stylings for your headings and 3 different stylings for your paragraph. And you'll change things like the text size, text font family, things like that. For example, if you click into paragraph 3, you can change the styling so that it's maybe slightly bigger, maybe it's bold, and you can change the color of them as well. If you're not sure about what theme text to use, if you're having trouble getting a good theme for your text, but you do want to change it, you can instead click on change text theme and it'll give you another styling basically. So you don't have to worry about changing each theme text by yourself. You can just use one of the existing stylings, or you can use your own custom styling. Wix is really flexible in that sense. So you can essentially just do whatever you're comfortable with and what you like basically. Then once you're done, that's your site theme updated more closer to what you would like. Now we'll talk about how to actually edit certain parts of the site. So the way Wix works is you would add sections, and within those sections you would add elements. Elements being things like text elements, image elements, video elements, post elements, things like that. So for example, if I wanted to add an element underneath this hero section here, you can see there's a button that says add section, and wherever it says add section, it'll add that section in that area. So if I click add section here, it'll add a section between the hero and the blog feed that I have here, and you can see that's where it's going to add. You can either create a pre-designed section, so these tabs here will show pre-designed layouts and they're categorized here. So if you have an idea on how you want that section to look like, you can go through the existing pre-made layouts and pick a section closest to that and change the content, change the layout slightly if you need to. These sections are already sort of mobile responsive, so you don't need to do a lot of work to edit them. All you need to do is just click and drag it over. Or you can create a blank section where it'll just completely add a completely new section, just like that. And then you build out the section fully by yourself. You can just add the the elements to the section here. But say, for example, you want like a 2-column section, then what you would need to do is add something called a strip and then drag the strip over. You'll see it's a little smaller than the actual section that it's in, but you can give it a different color. So if you can have it on a white background, and then you can have the strip be a different color as well. And then to add a column, all you need to do is click on layout and click add column. And now you can see you've got 2 columns as well. And then from there, you can add elements. So if you click on the add elements button at the top, you can see all of the elements that we have. So we added a strip, but you also have text elements, image elements, button elements. You can have some shapes. You can add galleries. All of these are free for you to use. So for example, if we drag on a heading element, and you can see whenever I'm clicking and dragging it on, I can attach it to a certain column. You want to make sure you stay within the guidelines. By default, heading 2 will be added, but you can add maybe like a heading 4, heading 6, and you don't need to worry about the styling of anything because you've already styled it within the theme palette. You can individually style it, but by giving it its own, if I click on edit text here and then actually edit the fonts and edit the size, this won't affect the heading 4s on across the site. It'll just affect this heading 4 that we've added. Again, I don't recommend doing this because it can cause inconsistencies in design and it just won't look very nice. You may need to change the color of it if it's on a certain background, but the font family and the text style should essentially be the same. Another thing you can add then is the paragraph. So again, just click and drag a paragraph over here and you can see the paragraph's been added. Another thing that you can add is the images. So if you go back to elements and go into the image tab, you can see you've got different options for images. You can either add your own images. So you can see upload images here, just click on that. What it'll do is it opens your image library. You can see it's loading here. And it'll ask you to upload an image from your computer. So if you have images that you want to use on your site, you can just upload it directly from your computer and just click open. And you can see the image being added. In general, it's always good to add your own images to the site just to make it more personable. However, sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you just need a stock image to fill in some white space while you get an image ready, or sometimes stock image would work better. Wix have a section for media from Wix, and this is essentially stock images that are completely free to use. You can search for certain image subjects, and it'll show you a whole bunch of free stock images that you can use on your website. And then you just all you do is just click into the image and click add to page, and then you've got an image sort of set up for your website. With the images, you can click and resize and drag it kind of anywhere. You can see as I'm building this, I can essentially take any bit of element, resize it the way I need to. So maybe if I want to resize this box so that everything is not on so many lines. And I can also just click and drag it to wherever it is that I want. I don't need to worry about putting it in a certain place. I can just click and drag. So it makes it really easy as a front-end builder to be able to do that. The other thing you can do is go on to another page. So if I wanted to edit the About page, all I need to do is go into the drop-down, click on About, and you can see the page editor go to the About page. And similar to the home page, all you need to do is click on each section, edit how you need to, add new sections, things like that. If you move on to the contact page, now on the site you can have several contact forms, and you can see they look similar to this. If you click into the contact form, what you can do is you can go into form settings and edit all the forms in terms of submit messages, settings like email notifications, where they're meant to go. You can set notifications so it goes to a specific email. You can save submissions as contacts as well, and set up like submission automations to set up thank you emails as well. The only thing with the forms is that so you can have up to 5 forms on across your website. If you want more than 5 forms, then you'll need to upgrade to the Ascend plan, which will cost a bit more. But you can have up to 5 anyway in your forms. You can update the colors if you click into the form. If you click into the form, you can see the colors that you have, and you can just click Customize Design, and you can customize the design for any part of your form. All the widgets are like that. Any widget that you see, if you click into it, there's always going to be a toolbar at the top where you can either maybe link, edit text, change the styling. You'll have different options, but there'll always be that toolbar, so you know exactly what your options are for styling the form. So that's the add elements, and then this here is add sections. So this is what we talked about, adding pre-designed sections or adding completely blank sections. Then you have this icon here for menus and pages. So this is where you'll see your site menu. This is the menu up here. So if you want to make changes in terms of, say, you want to bring the blog link up, you can do it here within the site menu, and you can also add pages from here as well. If you click on add page and say how you want it designed. So if it's a service page, you can click on the services templates, and you can pick from an already designed service page. If it's a landing page, if it's a general page, you can click through each of these templates essentially, and then just see which page kind of works for you. If none of the pages work for you and you want a completely different page and you're happy enough to design it yourself, what you can do is click blank page and completely add a completely blank page and add all the sections that you need, build out all those sections, make it mobile responsive yourself. So Wix is really flexible to all kind of levels of development. If you're completely new, you can just use all of the pre-made selections and just change the colors, change the content, or you can just completely design the pages and content yourself. But essentially you just pick a page and then just click add page, and then go in and change the layout, change the content, and add or remove certain sections if you wanted to. If you have a page that you don't want on your nav bar, so for example, we've added this page and it automatically added itself to the site menu, but actually you realize I don't want it to be on the site menu, not just yet, or maybe later, you click on to the 3 dots, and then you all you need to do then is click on hide. And so you still have this page on the back end, it's just not available on the front end. And you can go back in and unhide it as well. And then this is the site design icon, which we went over. And then you have the add apps icon. So this is using Wix's app market. Wix's app market is how you would add different functionality. So as I said earlier, if you wanted to add, for example, an online store, all you need to do is go into Wix app market and look for Wix stores. And you can see there's also loads of other Wix business solutions, things like, so we've already got Wix blog, but you can also have Wix events and tickets, Wix bookings, Wix stores, and you can see these are all free to install. You just want to click into it and then just click add to site. And depending on what app that you add, it'll add all the functionality and all the required pages. So for example, with Wix stores, there'll be additional pages like the shop page, product page, checkout and cart page. Those will all be automatically added within Wix stores, and all you need to do is change the content and change sort of the layout, similar to how you design everything else. You can see now that that's been added. You can see all the new pages being added. If we go back to site menu, you can see the store pages, and site menu, you've got the shop page. Within store pages, you've got the product category page, cart page. You've got blog pages like the blog posts and post pages. So yeah, it's really easy to add apps later on if you wanted to. The next thing then is the My Business tab, and this is just a tab where you can really organize what's left in order to set up the rest of the apps that you've got. So for example, Wix blog, it'll show you the steps that you need to start and share your experience with Wix. So how many steps here, you can create posts, manage posts, things like that. Wix stores, it also shows you step by step what's left to do in order to get the most out of the Wix platform. And then you've got the media tab, and this is where all of your images are stored. Upload media, site files. You can even just directly add media from here as well. And then you got your content manager, and this is more for content collections and to create sort of dynamic pages, things like collection pages as well. As you're creating pages and adding sections, removing sections, Wix will automatically save your site within each save, but it's also good to just save by yourself as well. So if just by clicking the save button will save your site essentially. What it will do is ask you to choose a domain to save to your site. So Wix will give you a free domain, which is essentially your username.wixsite.com / the name of your site. So you want to click save and continue. So that's your site saved. And then that's all your changes saved as well. Not published yet. We'll go over that in a minute. So this is your Wix dashboard, and this is what you'll see sort of before you start editing the site. The overview of the dashboard will show you remaining steps left to do. So for example, we just added the store, so it's showing, telling you to add different products, set up shipping and delivery, and set up payment methods, connecting a custom domain, things like that. And then on the left here is where you'll see the other options that you have. So for example, you've got the blog here. So if you click into blog, this is where you'll see an overview of all of the blogs. So if you wanted to add a blog, you actually go into the dashboard and you click into blog, and then you'll be able to add the blog from there. You'll see an overview of the blog dashboard. So right now you don't have any posts yet. So to create a new one, you just click on create new post, and it'll open a blank version of the blog. So adding a blog, it's very similar to Wix in that you're just adding the content, but Wix site builder, I mean. But the only thing you're doing is adding content. You're not building layouts or anything like that. So all you need to do is add a title, which is essentially the name of the blog. And then you want to start writing your posts as well. And this is just directly in here. You can either paste the blog post content from maybe a Word doc, or you can just type directly all of the post content. And this works similar to like a Google Doc editor or Microsoft Word editor, where you can add sort of paragraph text, and you can add heading text, and you can sort of format the text as well with like sizing, formatting, colors, things like that. Within the blog, you can also add categories. You can also add images as well. And this will be good to add any images to break up really like long chunks of text. So if you have long chunks of text, I recommend using headings and images to kind of break it up a little bit, just to make it easy to read for the user. And Google do keep mind of that. If they see a long chunk of text without any headings or images to break it up, it'll basically mark it as hard to read, basically. So you want to make sure that you use as much of the media as possible to kind of make your text as easy to read. You can either save your changes, or you can publish directly. And if you publish, it'll show on the front end of your site on the blog page. Then here you've got the store products, and this is essentially where you would add the different products of your site.
To add a new product, what you want to do is go into the products tab and click add new product, and from there you'll be given an option on if you want a physical product or a digital file. So Wix gives you the option to basically sell two different kinds of products. So physical products being something, you know, tangible, something that you would need to post out or they would need to collect, things like t-shirts, accessories, food, anything like that, anything where it's a tangible item, you want to make sure that then you add it as a physical product. And the other option then is a digital file. So these are things like images, any video files, PDFs, ebooks, things like that, things that users, once they buy it, it's something that they download and nothing that needs to be like shipped out or anything. This is really good if you do have maybe like PDFs or ebooks that you want to sell. And what happens is when someone buys the product, instead of you having to manually send that product to them, they get sent the product automatically through an email. So you don't need to worry about sending anything separately. So depending on what kind of file or what kind of product that you want to do, you just need to select that from there. For now we'll do physical product, but I'll show you how to add a digital product as well afterwards. So you click on physical product, and then it'll show you sort of like the blank back-end version of the physical product, and you just go through each field and just type in all the product information. So the first thing you want to type in then is the product title. So if you're selling food, if you're selling clothes, things like that, you just type in the name of the product, and this is what users will see on the front end as well as the name of the product. And then the next thing then you want to add is the images, and these are basically the product images. So you want to make sure you pick good images that kind of accurately display what the product is. To do that, you just click on add images, and it'll open up the Wix media library. With the Wix media library, you can upload your own files. You can also use media from Wix. This would be better to use, I guess, if you're setting up new pages and you need some placeholder content. For product images, you want to make sure that you're using images of the actual product itself, just so then users know exactly what they're buying, especially for things like clothes, because they tend to be, the more accurate that they are online, like the photos, the less chance there are for any returns that someone might need to make. And you can add images as you want. Obviously it's good to match as many products as you have, but for Wix, the max images that you can add to each product is about 15. And what you can also do is add videos as well. So if you have a product video that kind of maybe describes the products or shows the products being worn, you can also add that as well. And the next thing that you want to do then is the product information. So these are things like basic information like the woolly hat, the name and the description. So the description will show on the product page itself, and you want to make sure you keep the description as accurate as possible. So if it's a clothing item, then you want to make sure that you're writing about like size, dimensions, material, things like that. Just keep it as accurate as possible to minimize the chance of returns. And then the next thing then you can add is a ribbon. As ribbon text basically, and what that is just a little label that gets added to the product on the product page, so that it kind of stands out a bit. So if you have the label as new arrival, then the little label will show up on the product itself and it will say new arrival. Or if it's like a sale product or bestseller, something like that, just something to kind of make this specific product stand out and increase your sales for it. But whatever it is, you just need to type in that information here and then just type in the description here. Within the description as well, you can sort of bold and italicize certain text. You can format it with the formatting options here, and you can also change the color of it. Just to, as a reminder, so on the single product page, you can design that how you want, and that means also when you're adding in the description text, you can set that to any color that you want on the single page on the front end. But you can also change it here if you need to, and then you can also link as well. And the other section then is additional info sections. So basically, additional info sections allow you to add other sections to the single product page and kind of highlight those areas. So if you wanted to add another section, for example, delivery methods for this specific products, or how to care for your products, it'll show up in its own section with its own title. So whatever title that you give it, so for example, how to care for your product, that'll show up as a new section on the single product page, and then you would just type in the information, whatever it is, in the description here. And same as the description field above, you can format it in any way you want. You can add links and things like that. And you can add a few more info sections if you wanted to. It's just a bit more information that you can add that kind of stands out from the previous description. The next thing you want to add then is the pricing. And depending on how you're selling this product, this could be done differently. So if this is a product that only has one, that you can only buy in one way, so maybe it's one size, one color, then it'll only have one price. So we'll just set it to whatever price it is. If it's a sale product, you can click on sale, and instead of typing in you can either type in what the sale price is, or you can type in what the discount is. So if it's a 10% discount, it'll automatically calculate the sale price, or you can do a pound discount as well. So depending on what kind of discount it is, you can just type in what the discount amount is, and it'll show up on the site as a discounted item and whatever the discount is. You can also show the price per unit. So that allows customers to see the price based on fixed amounts of it. So if you click on that, they can see how much it would be to buy a certain amount of product, basically. And the other thing then is the cost of goods and the profit margin. And this is more for back-end use. So if you know how much it is to cost, it is costing you to make this product, it'll calculate sort of the profit and margin for you. And again, this is just for back-end use, so this isn't something that your customers will see, but it just means later on, whenever you're doing any kind of reporting features on this, it'll kind of give you an indication of how much profit you're making per item, but your customers won't see this. The other thing with the pricing then is sometimes you can sell a product but it has different size options or different color options or different basically attributes that people can select, and maybe those attributes have different pricing. So Wix allows you to make basically different options for a single product, and then allows you to price them and stock them individually. So for example, say this hat, if it comes in maybe 2 different colors, in black and white, what we need to do then is set the base pricing, and then we need to come down to product options and click add options, and you want to type in what the option name is. So if it's a color option, if it's a size option, if it's a weight option, whatever option it is, you can type in the name. Wix already have size and color sort of set up, but you can also, but if the option isn't either of those, you can just type in your own one. For this example, we'll just use color. And then once you've typed in what the option is, then you need to type in what the actual options are. So we'll say black, and we'll also say white as the color options. If the color options that you have that is listed in Wix isn't on it, you can also just type in your own color option as well, just by typing in the color option and then clicking the enter sign. This part here This is useful if you are showing color options, because you can show the option as colors, so it'll show up with the actual colors, and then you can also just give it the exact hex code if you have it, or RGB code if you have it, or you can just have it shown as a list. It won't show the color previews. We'll just leave it to color, and then click on add. So now we've got the 3 color options. One thing you can do is connect images to each color option. And this is really useful, I think, for users. So what happens is when someone sees the 3 different color options and they click on, say, the purple color option, it'll automatically change the main product image to whatever product image that we add. So you would need to obviously add all the product images first. So for this example, we'll just add any image here. And you can see now, so when someone clicks on the purple color option, it'll automatically change to this color that we've, this image that we've seen. So they know exactly what each color would look like, because the image is connected to it. And you can do that. It doesn't have to be just for colors. If you added in like a size option, if you added in a weight option, whatever it is, you can connect images to each option type, and you can connect up to 15. So it's up to you how you want to use that. And the next thing then is you want to manage the pricing and inventory, because obviously sometimes the pricing for one option might be different, and maybe the stock for one option might be different, so you want to make sure that you can manage those individually. So to do that, you just want to click onto the toggle here, manage variants, and you can see the 3 different variants that we have. We have the black, white, and purple. And as you remember, so at the top we set the base pricing, so we'll remove on sale for now. We set the base price as 12. And when we come into manage variants, we need to just add in the price difference. So you don't add what the actual price is, you just add the difference. So for example, if the black hat is £5 more expensive than the base price, then we add 5 as the price difference, and you can see that's automatically changed the black price to 17. If the white option is say £2 less than the base price, then instead of adding in just normally, what you do is type in minus and then 2, and then you can see now that the price for the white variant is £10 because it's taken away 2. If the price of an option is the same as the base price, then you just add no difference, so you just leave it as 0 and it'll just stay the same as the base price. So just to clarify, again, you don't type in the actual amount, the cost of the variant, you just type in the cost difference based on what you've added in the base price here. And the other things you can do then is set their own cost of goods. So if it costs more to make the black one, by placeholder, it'll just automatically take what it actually costs in wherever you type in here. But if not, then you can also just type in the actual cost of goods. But again, that's not going to show on the front end. Customers won't see it, it's just for yourself. And then you can also type in individual SKU numbers. And the other thing you can do is change the status of the items, so whether they're in stock or out of stock. And if you want to be really specific, what you can do is track inventory. So instead of it saying in stock or out of stock, instead of you marking it as in stock or out of stock, you can just click track inventory, and you can actually give individual inventory numbers for each product. So you can add different stock quantities for the product, and you'd know yourself exactly how many of each product is left, and that way people aren't sort of overbuying or buying more than what you have. And it just means then you don't need to come in and keep track of what products are still in stock, what products are out of stock. You can just type in the exact amount, or the exact amount that you have, or the exact amount that you're wanting to sell, and then leave it like that. The other thing then you can do is the shipping weight, and this might not show on to customers, but what it'll do is it'll give a weight to each of the product variants, and it just means then when it comes to delivery, you can charge a different amount for certain products that weigh over certain amounts. So this might not be useful for clothing, but maybe if you're shipping something extremely heavy, if you're shipping furniture, for example, certain furniture might cost more to ship. So what you can do is you can add shipping weights, and then you can set up a rule that says if the product that they're buying weighs over a certain amount, then you can set a different price for that. So to do that, you just need to make sure that you add the shipping weight to the products. If not, if shipping weight isn't something that is going to cause any issues with delivery or anything like that, then you can just leave it blank. It's optional. So the other thing then is the visibility. So this is basically an option to allow you to hide a certain variant from the store. This might be useful if you're wanting to keep the variant on the back end, but maybe that variant isn't ready to be displayed yet, or you're not wanting to sell it yet. Instead of just removing the variant entirely, you can just hide the visibility. And that means then you don't have to remove the variant completely, you can just hide it, and then when you're ready to display it in stores again, you would just uncheck that to show the variant in store. Once you're happy with that, you just click apply, and that's essentially the product options set up here. To go back one, you can add something called custom text. So this will be good for products where you're offering some kind of customization. So for example, say for this hat, for example, if it's an option for people to maybe embroider their names onto it, you can offer that. You would obviously need to know what it is that you're adding onto the hat. So what you can do is you can add custom text field, and you can type in the name of it. So what name would you like on the hat? To give it a prompt basically, so people know what to type. And you can give it a character limit as well if you know how much space there is to write. That way people aren't adding in a completely long name or anything like that. And you can set it as a mandatory field. So if you know that this is a product that has customizations like that, you can make this a mandatory field so they can't place an order without typing in something in the field. If it's an option, then you would just uncheck that. This is useful if you are adding sort of customization options to your product, because it means they can do it while they're making an order and you don't have to chase up via email if they don't. And you can add sort of different kind of text fields if you want. I think there's a limit of 2, so you can have 2 customizations for each product that you have. The next thing then is pre-order. So this is just allowing whether or not you want to allow your customers to buy this product before it's released or when it's out of stock. This can be good for really popular items that maybe go in stock quickly or out of stock quickly, but you know you can get them back in, so it allows them to kind of pre-order. You would just switch that on and then fill in the details below. So there's a message that shows up, so tell customers when this product will be shipped or delivered. So this is essentially what the preview is for now. This product is currently in stock. It will be available for pre-order if it goes out of stock. And then you can set a pre-order limit as well. So if you're not wanting more than 50 people to pre-order the product, then you can just set that limit to 50. And if not, you just untoggle that and just leave pre-order the way it is. The other thing you can do is set up a subscription. So this will be good for products that maybe people will buy on like a monthly basis. Things like subscription box, where every month they get like a box of food or a box of clothes items, things like that. And you could set up a subscription, and that'll take payment from your customers on a monthly basis, or any kind of recurring basis that they can manage within their account. If you wanted to do that, you would just click on the create a subscription product, and then you would just give a subscription info. So for example, if you do say hat of the month, and you can give it a tagline, so subscribe and save 15%, or any kind of tagline that it is. And then this is where you fill in the actual subscription details. So maybe if it's a monthly product, you do repeats once every month. If it's a bi-monthly product, then twice every month. If it's once a year, 2 years, things like that. And when it expires, so maybe it's something that expires after a certain number of times, so a certain number of billing cycles, or if it's something that doesn't expire until someone were to cancel their account. And things like that. And then you can also add a discount, so you can offer a discount on the regular product price for customers who purchase this product. So basically, if you say maybe a 5% discount, it just means then people can enjoy this product. Either they can buy this product as a one-off, or they can set up a subscription and then get a description, and then get a discount if they were to add it as a subscription. So again, this will be good for kind of subscription boxes for like food or clothes, coffee, things like that. And then you can choose if you want to offer this product as a whole as subscription only, or if they can buy a subscription or as a one-time purchase. So there's a lot of flexibility there. And if you don't want that, then you can just delete the subscription and just leave this as a one-off product. And the other thing that you want to do then is these two boxes here. So this checkbox, show in online store. This is good if you're wanting to set up a product that's not ready to be purchased yet, so you don't want it to be shown on the site, but you don't want to, delete the product or manually have to add everything all over again. You can just have the product with all the information ready, and then once you're actually ready, all the information ready, uncheck that, and then once it's actually ready, then click on show in inline store. That way you can have the product details all ready, and then once the product itself is actually ready to be purchased, you would just click on a few buttons. You just click on show in inline store, and then it's ready for users to display. So it allows you to kind of prepare the product at least without having users see it before it's actually ready to be paid for. The next thing then is categories. So you can organize your products into different categories. Wix also call these collections, in case you're not seeing that. But what that means is you can set up different pages. So you can have a page for clothing, a page for ebooks, a page for food, whatever it is that you're selling, and then display those pages on your website so people can navigate your website a little bit better. If they're going onto your website and they know they just want to look at clothing, they can just go on the clothing page and it'll just show products that are associated with the clothing category. It also means on the shop page you can add different filters to allow users to see and explore your products a lot more easily, because they can filter by different categories. So these are categories I've already added. If there's a category that's yet to be added that you need to add, you just need to click on create category and then just type in the name of the category. Whatever it is, you just type in the name of the category and just click yes, and then just assign the product to that category. You can assign a product to more than one category. So if it's clothing and winter wear, if it's also part of accessories, you can. It depends on where you want that product to show on your website. And then you want to make sure then that you're adding the SEO settings as well. So if you click on edit SEO settings, so you might need to save first. So we'll just save this product. And click, if you've been taken back to dashboard, just click back into the product that you were just working on. And you can see, so edit SEO settings, and it'll show you the SEO settings currently for this page, for this product. So this is the preview on Google. This is what Google will see if the product comes in your search results. So you've got the name of the product and the name of the site. URL slug is fine. It usually just takes the product your name as a URL, and then you have the title tag, which is the name of the product and the site. What you can do then is, if you wanted to add maybe the location of your business, you can. That's good for Google as well, so then they know exactly where you're based, and it just means then if people who are also based here are more likely to find your product then. You can add basically to that as well. And then the next thing then is the meta description. So right now the meta description is blank, but you can add the name of the description of the product as the meta description. So really kind of describe this product and maybe your site a little, and that way people know once it's on the Google search results, people can see what this product is about without clicking onto it, and whether or not it's something that they're looking for. And it also means Google knows exactly what this product is about as well. And then you can click on the social share tab and see how it looks on social media, and things like that. So once you're done with the social, with the SEO settings, you can just click save. Other things you can do is the fulfilled by section. So this is if you're connecting it to a third-party fulfillment service. If not, it'll just mark yourself as the fulfilled by, so self-fulfilled. And the other thing you can do is type in the brand name. So if it's a branded product that you're selling, you can type in the brand name, and that might help your SEO visibility a little bit on site engines. if people are searching for a particular brand, then your site knows that your website does have products that have that particular brand, so you can add that there. And yeah, so that's the product setup, and you just want to click save to save all your changes. So that's how you add a physical product. If you wanted to add a digital file, it's very similar to physical, so you want to click on new product and then click on digital file, and just fill in the basic information that Wix kind of asks for. So for example, name of the product, so and this can be anything. If it's a video file, if it's a PDF file, anything like that, you just want to type in the name of the product, and then you want to click on upload file. So you can do an image file if it's a particular image that people are looking for, an audio file. This can be in the form of MP3, WAV file. You can see at the bottom, you can see what file formats are supported. With images, it's JPEG, PNG, and GIF. And then you've got the document files as well. If it's a PDF or a PowerPoint or a doc, you can see at the bottom what formats are supported, and you can also upload a zip file. This would be good then if it's like a video file, for example, you can put it in a zip file and upload that. In this example, we'll just do the image file or the document file. So if I click on document, it'll look for the files that are already on my computer, or I can upload new files as well. I have a document uploaded already, so you'll just click add to product, and you can see the file is here. So customers will receive links to download their products in the thank you page along with an email. So they can check their file in the email, and they can also email and log in to the Wix membership section and find their file there. And same as before, you would type in the product info. Things like the name, you can add a ribbon as well, you can add a description, you can add images and videos as well to each of them. Maybe, so for example, in this case it's a recipe, so maybe you'll add images of the final result, things like that. And you can add additional info sections as well. And then you would add the pricing as normal. Unlike the previous, unlike adding a physical product, you don't get the option of product variants because it's not usually needed for digital files. So you just have the normal base file, and then you can have the on sale if it's a sale item, and the cost of goods as well. Similar to the physical products, the users aren't going to see the cost of goods. The next thing then is the track inventory and shipping. So for digital files, it's just inventory, as there's no shipping with the digital files. Again, they'll get emailed the digital file link once they've purchased it. So it's just inventory, and you can either set it as in stock or out of stock, or you can give it a direct inventory. This can be good then if you're wanting to run maybe a promotion that says first 50 customers get this product as a digital file. But again, because it is a digital file, then usually inventory isn't something that's applicable for this one. And again, you can choose to show it in online store if it's ready to be purchased, or if not, then uncheck it. And you can add different categories to it as well, whichever one that you want, and you can create categories. The SEO settings are the same, so you just click on SEO settings to add the meta description and the title tag, things like that. And that's really it. So a few differences, but more or less the same thing, and a lot less to do with the digital files. You just need to upload the main file and add in any basic descriptions, and just save. So as you can see, you've got all the products here, and what you can do then is from the dashboard itself, you can hide it from the online store if it's not ready, or you can go into each product. And you can also duplicate existing products. So if there's a product that have very similar, has a very similar product description, things like that, you can duplicate the existing product, and then just just edit the duplicate so that it's a different name. It might save some time that way, and sometimes you just have to add in the new product as it is. Sometimes you might have a few products where you need to edit but it might take too long to go into each product and edit it, What might be easier is if you were to export this product as a Excel sheet, and then you can edit. So for example, if you know the names of the products need to change, if you know the price variant and things like that, all of that need to change, you can edit that on an Excel sheet and then re-upload that Excel sheet. So for example, say I want to change the names of these products, but it's too much hassle to click into each of these products. It's quicker if I just seen it on a sheet and then just change it there. What I can do is go into the products, make sure all the products that I want to edit is here, and then where it says more actions, what you want to do is click on export, and you want to select all and click export. This will export all of your products as an Excel sheet that I can then open on Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, whatever Excel sheet that you're using, and it exports as a CSV file, and then I can now open that on my computer. So you can see now I've opened the sheet on my computer, and you can see the different fields that I've had to fill in. So the field name, description, collection, SKU, all of that is information that are on the Excel. We just have to then change the description. So for example, the names of the products, I can, instead of going into each product manually one by one on the Wix dashboard, I can just go into the name column here and just click on each individual product that I know I need to change. I can do the same thing with the description. So if I have all the product names here, I can just easily add in a description for each of them. And you can do the same thing with a few different products field as well. So like you can add the SKU or change the SKU for certain products. You can change the ribbon or add ribbons. And then you can change the base price on all of them. What you want to make sure is that when you're changing the pricing, that you're changing it as a surcharge. So instead of changing the base price, you're changing the surcharge. So whether that's a surcharge of 5, -2, whatever it is, you're changing it here, or you can change the base price. You can change the inventory and things like that. So, but one thing that you need to make sure that you don't do is change the handle ID. If you were to change the handle ID of a certain product, it doesn't mean it'll change that product. What it'll do is it'll actually create a new product with that ID. So you can change everything else, but just not change the handle ID, because that'll either it'll just create a new product. But once you're happy with everything, what you need to do then is just go into File and Download, and make sure you download it as a CSV again. Wix won't accept any other format. So once it's downloaded as CSV, you can then go back to your Wix dashboard. You can see here, and then under More Actions, then instead of Export, you're going to click Import. And it'll open up the Wix importer. So what you want to do is go into upload your products. So you want to click upload CSV file, and it'll open up the CSV files that you have currently on your computer, and you just want to click on the new one that you've just edited and click on open, and then click continue. And what it'll do is it'll check your file and just make sure you have everything. If there's any issues, it'll come up here in red that there's an issue with a certain product, and it'll tell you what column, what cell is throwing the issue. And if you've added any new products, it'll show you the new products, existing products, things like that, and then it'll import. So it'll import all those products all over again and replace the information with whatever you've done on the Excel sheet.
Now that you have your blog set up and you've got your site set up as well in the way you want it, and you've got the product set up as well, what's left to do then is to actually publish your site. So once your site is ready, then you need to publish it by using this publish button here, and this will actually put your site live. So you just click on publish, and your site will then be live, and it's using the domain that comes free with Wix. So with Wix, the domain that's free is usually the name of your account, .wixsite.com / the name of your site. And this is a fully published live link. This is free for anyone to use. So this is essentially the site live, and I didn't have to pay anything at all. And I can, read blogs. I can I can read blogs. I can go into the shop page and view products. So Wix is a good option if you have a basic sort of brochure build site and you're wanting to not pay to get that site up and running. Maybe you just want some online presence for now. Wix can help you get you some online presence. Some drawbacks about having a free site with Wix and not using one of their premium sites is that you can't connect your own custom domain. So as I mentioned previously, the domain that's being used is .wixsite.com / the name of your site. It's not a very user-friendly URL. It's not great for Google, and it can put people off from clicking onto your site. Just to go over some of Wix pricing. If you go back onto the dashboard and click on upgrade plan here, or compare plans. You can see that Wix have got 3 different kind of plans here. So the free plan will just get your site up and running. People can see your site, view your content, but you won't be able to connect to a custom domain. And the other thing that will happen is that you will also get Wix ads placed around the site. This will be something like this. Something like up here as well. So you've got this little ad up here. You can't control that. That will always be placed on your site until you upgrade to one of the premium plans. So you can build the site for free and you can publish it for free and have it live and be able to send it to clients and customers, but those are some of the drawbacks. In terms of website plans that Wix offers, so you can see there is split into 3. There's website plans, business and e-commerce plans, and then enterprise plans. With the enterprise plans, it's more for bigger businesses and large-scale businesses, and will require sort of like a custom quote. With the basic website plans, it's really good for showcasing maybe like your blogs and your portfolio. It's split into 2. So the most basic is the connect domain. And this will allow you to connect a custom domain to your site. So you purchase a domain either through Wix or GoDaddy or Namecheap, whatever it is, and you can connect that domain. And that will basically make the site a little bit more user-friendly to kind of access. The drawbacks with this one is that it will have Wix ads. So the ad I showed you earlier, it would still have that with the connect domain. The combo would be the most popular one, one of the most popular ones, and maybe a slightly better one because you get the custom domain and also you get to remove the ads as well. So from this plan and up, all the ads are gone. The main difference between all of these plans is mainly the storage space and the bandwidth. Depending on how big your site is, you can get away with maybe just 3 GB, maybe you need the 10 GB. I think the more videos that you have, the more product content that you have, you might fall into one of the unlimited or the VIP. And the bandwidth being the speed of the site. So again, this just depends on how big your site is, how much content you have. Maybe it's better to have the unlimited bandwidth. The other difference then between these ones is that the VIP one has priority customer care. So this kind of just allows you to submit a ticket with Wix at any time for free, and priority customer care just means that Wix will get back to you a little bit faster, but the 24/7 customer care, they will also get back to you. The other options then is the business and e-commerce plans, and this is only used if you are accepting payments on your site. So with the Wix stores, you can set up products and you can set up shop pages, but if you want people to actually buy and place orders on your site, you need to make sure you have a business and e-commerce plans. And again, the main difference between all of these 3 is the storage space. So depending on how much content that you have, you may need the 50 GB or you think you can get away with the 20 GB. But you do get the custom domain with all of them as well, and you get the removed ads. Now that you've set up your site and you have decided what plan you want to use, the next thing then you want to do is edit your site to start adding the dropshipping options. So another option, as mentioned previously, to e-commerce is dropshipping, and Wix do cater for people who want to involve dropshipping method of selling their products as well. There's 2 really popular Wix apps for dropshipping called Modellist and Sprocket. So in this video, we'll go over how to use those. So the first thing that you actually want to do is install the Wix app for Modelist and Sprocket. We'll start off with Sprocket first. So what you want to do is go into the add element section here, and you want to go into store. Actually, sorry, you need to go into add apps. And you want to look for the dropshipping option. So even if you type in dropshipping, and you can see you've got Sprocket as the first option. So what you want to do is click into that, and you can see it's also free to install. So you just want to click into it and click add to site. So you can see before you install, there's a sort of setup info here. So adding Sprocket will allow you to do so many things like manage order, read contacts. You want to make sure you click agree and add. So by installing, you agree to kind of the Wix app market terms of use, and you just want to click on that. Next thing you want to do now is go to the dashboard to finish setting up. And you'll be taken to the dashboard. Just to give an overview on Sprocket. So Sprocket allows you to start dropshipping top products from US and EU suppliers, and there's over 500,000 products to choose from. It is one of the leading dropshipping apps for Wix, and they've got a 24/7 dedicated customer helpline if there are any issues, and a streamlined process. So your Wix dropshipping business is pretty good if you wanted to use Sprocket. Benefits of Wix dropshipping with Sprocket is that it allows for fast shipping, so it appeals to US and EU markets, especially if that's where your brand is. It's easier to offer fast shipping because you've got thousands of suppliers globally, 24/7 customer support. You can maximize your profits by discounting the products up to 30%, and they've got fairly high quality products as well. So the first thing you need to do is set up a Sprocket account. Very simple. You just need to add in your name and your email and what kind of products that you want to sell. And then you can sign in with Google, or you can sign up with normally as well. And then what you want to do is connect your store. So you go into shop. The first thing you need to do is set up, choose which products that you want. So you can see, for example, this product here. You might want to choose to start drop shipping that. And what you want to do is add to your import list. And next thing then you want to do is connect your store. So it will ask you to try it for free. So for example, if you click one of the stores here, you need to just select a billing cycle, choose your payment method, and then just type in and just buy a trial period. So for example, their plans, they'll go from yearly and monthly. There's lots of different options that you have. So you can choose different sales options, starter, pro, empire, or unicorn, yearly or monthly. And basically they offer different things. Depending on how many products, you might want to go for the unicorn. You can get up to 10,000, or if you know you're only selling a few bits of products, then you can just select the 25. You get the 24/7 chat support and AliExpress dropshipping if that's where you want to go for as well. And yeah, you just go through each of these and see which kind of brand option kind of suits you the most. And you can get 2 weeks free as well if you want to try it. So essentially you would select which plan and just type in your information. And once your plan's all set up, you just want to go back and start going through the Spock list to see what it is that you want to set up. So for example, this one here, you just want to click on import list here and essentially just start adding in all the products that you want to drop ship. And once you select it, you need to connect to your store. So you go to my store here and you're looking for Wix Connect Store as well. You just want to click into it and then just click Connect Store, and it'll redirect you to the Wix login. And you want to click Add to Site. And you want to select the site it is that you want to add it to. And you want to just click Agree and Add and make sure that everything's okay here. And you'll be redirected back to Spocket dashboard. Next thing you can do is go to your import list. We might need to actually find a product. And then you want to click Add to Import List. You want to make sure is that the drop shipping product that you want is selected from the Spocket's featured collections for what's trending. You want to make sure that you're selecting one from here. You can use the search bar to kind of search for anything specific. And you can also filter by price. You can filter by ships to, shipping time, things like that. If you don't want to see that many options, try using the filters. And you can filter by shipping location as well. And then once you find a shipping product that you're interested in, it will bring up the extra product information. And some of the most important parts of the product information are product description, shipping time, listing price, so how much you're paying the seller, the supplier, and then retail price. So Spocket's suggested time for what you should sell this to your customers for. The extra product information is the best way to decide if a product fits your business needs. And then once you're done, you just need to click Add to Import List. And then it'll be added to your dashboard basically. To start, I'd suggest looking for between 10 to 25 products. Every product you add to the store is going to need your own kind of descriptions as well. So you need to make sure that you add however many products that you need. Another thing you need to be mindful of whenever you're setting up a dropshipping site is making sure that you have the correct pricing plan as well. So as previously mentioned, making sure that the pricing plan that you have is one of the business and e-commerce plans. Then you'll be able to accept payments easily on your website, and you don't need to sort of be looking in the website plans because those kind of sort of basic brochure plans as well. And that's it. So you set up your account on Spocket, make sure you connect it to your account, and then just also import all the products that you need, and everything will be imported in the store product section as well. And then once you're done with that, you just need to push your site live, select a appropriate billing plan for your hosting, and then that's it.